Hi, welcome back to my pain release series. This is part 4, and we are going to be working on our wrists today. So with no equipment, we're going to go ahead and get started. So what you're going to do is just start by kneeling. If you need to, you can double up the mat, maybe triple, depending on how hard the floor is, just so that our knees are comfortable, okay? The next thing that we're going to do is come down to the mat with our hands. Make sure that our wrists, elbows, and shoulders are in a straight line. Our core is engaged. Toes, I'm going to show you all a side view. Toes are curled against the mat, knees and hips in a straight line. All right, this is our form. This is our position that we are going to mostly be maintaining. Okay, so what we're going to do here now is just very slowly start by going in a circular rotation, just in one direction. The key here is to keep the fingertips glued down to the mat, and I want you to press into those fingertips like your life depended on it. Maybe not that hard, but I want you to grip the mat with those fingertips to where you don't feel that much pressure in the wrist, okay? Let's do one more full rotation and then we'll switch directions. All right, so switch. This here is just going to start prepping the wrist, getting them a little warm before we go into some stretches, okay? This is a really good, not only wrist reset for if you are typing all the time or on the computer all the time. This is also a really good warm-up for your wrists if you are prepping for any kind of workout where you will be using your hands. So planks, handstands, any plank variation, anything where you have to have your hand as a anchor point. Okay, so last rotation on this direction. Now what we're going to do is stick our hands straight out, and all we're doing here is rotating the wrist, okay? Trying to keep the shoulders, we're not trying to move the shoulders, we're keeping the shoulders still and just keeping the movement at the wrist. I'm being a little dramatic with my fingers, but I like to do that to help kind of warm up the fingers as well. So we're just going to do a few rotations in one direction. And then we're going to switch. Rest. Shake out those arms. Now we're going to pump the hands, still warming up before we go into our stretch. So just imagine you're trying to grasp something. You're just grasping with your arms. You can stretch your arms out if you like. One more and rest. So now what we're going to do is stick our arms straight out again. Keep the shoulders back. And what I mean by back is poke out the chest, keep a proud chest here, all right, with the shoulder blades back, core engaged. We are going to then make a fist, and what we're going to do is just point down with our fists, right? You should be feeling the tops here of the forearm and the wrist stretching out. Feels really, really good. Hold just a little bit longer. And relax. All right, next thing we're gonna do is remember that first position that we were in on all fours. Wrists, elbows, shoulders in a straight line, knees, hips in a straight line, toes curled behind us. We are then going to face the inside of our wrist towards each other with our fingertips pointed out, spread out, gripping the mat again. And all we're doing here is shifting our weight from side to side, lifting up the base of the palm, keeping the top of the palm glued to the mat and the fingertips. We're just lifting up the base of the palm as we shift to each side. Really nice stretch, just adding a little bit of movement. Let's do 2 more each way. So 1, and rest. All right, if you ever need to take a quick breather from this, it's totally fine. Just make sure you jump back in whenever you're ready. Okay, so same position with our body, but with our hands, we're going to be in normal position. So just hands down on the mat, And all we're going to do here now, keeping the arms straight, keeping the hands glued into the mat, pushing down, we are just going to rotate our shoulders and our elbows. See here how my shoulder comes out, my elbows out, and then I rotate them in, all right? It feels very foreign at first, and you may not be able to go as far in or far out as possible, but with time and practice, you can build up the mobility. This loads up heaps of muscles. Very, very good. Warming up the arm, the wrist. It's not just the wrists, it's the arms here that we're warming up too. Just moving those muscles around, getting some blood flow. Let's do 2 more. And on the last one, hold as you turn in, grip the fingers, grip that mat, and rest. Good job. We only have a few more stretches to do. So the next stretch, same position on all 4s, except we are going to take our hands and put the tops of our palms facing down. Okay, make sure your toes are curled here so you can help for support. Fingertips are pointed toward, no, that's not good. Fingertips are pointed towards the body. And all we're doing here is very, very slightly leaning our hips back into the heels, keeping the arms straight. Now, it depends on how much you need. If this position alone without moving the hips is enough, then you can stay there. But if you need more, you can always sit the hips back. About right here is good enough for me. Really, really nice stretch on the tops of the wrists and the forearms. Go ahead and relax. Oh, pump the hands. Rest, rest, rest. Okay. Almost through. Last exercise. Right. Last exercise. So all we're doing here is stretching out one hand. I should turn back to the side. Stretching out one hand and arm, right? We're going to turn it palm facing up. Then we're going to take these fingers and grab those fingers and pull them towards your body. So just like so. Try to not let the shoulders come up. Keep them away from the ears. This is not only stretching out the wrists, but it's also stretching out the fingers, the palms. Feels really, really good. Hold for a few more breaths. And relax. Again, shake it off, roll it out, whatever you need to do. Last one, all right? Pull those fingers back, keep that arm straight, shoulders down, away from the ears, proud chest, core engaged. Breathing through the entire stretch. Almost through. One more breath. And release. Pump those hands. Hopefully your wrists and forearms and fingertips feel a lot better. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you enjoyed this series. It is over with now, and you can always reference it here on our YouTube.